POD, or Pod, as I call them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
No.
XFM 104.9. It's the Ricky Gervais Show.
With Steve Merchant?
Yeah. So Dermot O'Diddley,
Yes.
weeks and weeks in a row, he doesn't even turn up, and now suddenly he's all over breakfast.
I noticed, yeah, he's standing in for the breakfast show. Why weren't we asked to do that?
Well, we
Quite
were.
upsetting. Were we?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, but I don't want to get up that early, do I?
Sure.
I feel a bit hungover today, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's happening? What were you partying last night, were you?
Well, not partying. We just went out for a couple of drinks, then had a meal, and then went to the Borderline and saw. But I'll tell you about that. It's good.
You saw a band? That's the first
Yeah.
time in years, isn't it?
It is, yeah, yeah. Because do you know John Sim, the actor?
Not really.
He's in this band, right, called Magic Alex, and it was really good. They're sort of like a friendly Oasis. They got sort of quite it's quite mank sort of feel, but it's really good songs and everything.
Is he the singer?
Yeah, no, he's the guitarist. Nice, cool. But it was full of actors because and I felt quite tall.
That's ludicrous, because you're a very short man.
Well, I am. I'm sort of. I was average, but now I'm not. I don't think 5'8". That's right. But there, I was like quite. It was like Lilliput. So I just got to hang out at actors do. Yeah.
This is the reason, because actors are often quite handsome people, but yet they're always quite obnoxious.
We are.
No, I mean, they're normally quite obnoxious, Rick. Again, you're a good example of that. And yet, I think it must be the small man complex. That's what makes them so obnoxious and so kind of desperate for attention. Didn't realise it before.
Steady on.
Because, of course, I tower above everyone.
You do, don't you?
I'm, for people who don't know, who are listening, I'm 6'7" tall. That's high.
Yeah.
That's big.
And for people who've never seen him, he doesn't hold it well. It's not like he's a sort of handsome athlete, is it, Karl? He's a bit of a what would you call him?
Carl, don't answer.
No.
Don't get drawn into that. You know the game he's playing.
No. Do you know yesterday when you were in the office?
Yeah.
You did a little move, and it reminded me of Blakey.
I hate you, Gervais. I hate you, Pilkington.
That's his stance.
Yeah, but even he held it a little bit better, didn't he? Because he was a man, he had a big coat and everything, and a peak cap. But, yeah.
I can't believe, I've not suffered enough from being freakishly tall. Now, two of my best buddies, live on radio, are just...
It's not just the height, though, is it? It's the posture and the face and everything.
But it's got you places, hasn't it?
No? What do you mean it's got me places?
I think people give you a bit more of a chance in your career and stuff, 'cause it's like...
What, yeah, stacking shelves? Because I can reach to a high level.
Muse, Plug-in Baby on XFM 104.9.
Rick,
Gervais, go on.
Well, yeah, but I know you guys are laughing about the height thing, and for those that have only just tuned in, I am 6'7" tall, which is tall, and that's big. And I pride myself on it in a way. I've worked hard. I've not smoked. I ate well.
Yeah.
It's an accomplishment. But obviously, I didn't have much involvement in it. I just am, and it's a curse because mainly the problem is that you can't get stuff. You can't get clothes. You can't get shoes.
Yeah.
Size
It's size 14 feet.
Yeah, but it is genuine, and I don't know. I mean, it costs a lot to buy a pair of size 14 shoes, and I don't. I mean, if you were genuinely poor, I don't know how you'd afford to be tall because the clothing costs more, everything costs more.
I've seen this in comics that you'd actually go to school in a barrel,
wearing a barrel
with just braces. It'd just be a barrel, and you'd have sort of flip flops, and you'd take a mule with you. They all had a mule, didn't they? The
but
poor
people always think that you'll be in a pub or something, and people just think they can talk to you about it. They just think, hey, oh, you lanky, it's just because it's like they.
But that really annoys you, doesn't it?
Well, it annoys me because it's like they think I should be proud of it.
Well, exactly, but they don't think that this is not a disadvantage. This is not a disability, is it? You're taller than most people. It might get
disability.
No. If you were 8'3", it'd be slightly debilitating. You would, but
debilitating.
What?
Debilitating? Yeah. No, you're a medical man, aren't you? But no, the point is, it's a debilitating because when you go on public transport, like if you're on a coach,
yeah.
The only place I can sit on a coach is that seat
on the driver's lap.
Either on the driver's lap or that seat at the very end.
Yeah.
Which sits into the aisle.
Yeah.
That's the only place I can.
Well,
sit.
you stand up,
some sort of kids at the back waving at drivers.
You could drive it from the back.
Here he comes. Watch it.
Were you a tall baby? Or
Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, you've given birth to a basketball player. Look at his dribble already. Were you a tall baby? Babies aren't tall.
At what point did you suddenly, Jesus, nothing fits me?
Well, it didn't happen overnight, Karl.
Let's do a little graph. How tall were you at 5?
Oh, I don't know. 3 foot?
3 foot. How tall were you at 12?
6 foot.
6 foot? Are you really?
I don't know, do I? How do I remember? I don't remember this.
Well, when did teachers start calling you freak boy and
Rarely,
lanky?
they didn't. It wasn't
Didn't they?
so much. It was no.
You went to a funny school. I went bowling with him once. Right? I'd never been bowling before, and he'd been once before. And he went, "Let's go to this bowl." We went to a bowling alley, right? And you have to wear these special shoes. Now they're sort of like pointed things anyway, and they're multicoloured, sort of red and green. They look pretty weird. And the woman said to me, "Oh, what size?" I said, "Oh, 8. She went, "Yeah." "What size are you?" He went, 14. She went, 14. He went, "You probably haven't got them." She goes, "Yeah, I think we have got one pair." And she put them on the table, and it was like Krusty the Clown. And I just started laughing. They looked so long, and he had to run round this bowling alley in these freaky clown
But
shoes.
they don't look freaky clown like when I'm wearing them, because the rest of me's in proportion to it.
It looks like a little wall bracket.
One of the worst things that happened to me was when I was like, I don't know, when I was about 16 or something. We went to Is the fire
There's a
alarm
fire
going
alarm going off.
There's a fire alarm going off.
And the fire light's going off. Yeah. Should we not just
Should
maybe
we
play a
evacuate?
record and go and check that out?
Wrap it up if you want.
Oh, no, not wrap it up. Play a record. I'm gonna go.
No, the
See you
fire,
later.
it's gone off, Rick. It's gone off.
Oh, what? We might have burnt down.
Yeah, I think we'd know about it. The flames licking around our ankles would be a clue.
God.
I'm gonna go and investigate.
yes,
You
sir.
shouldn't ignore a fire alarm, should you?
Blimey. We're
Look at this.
entertaining the nation.
Oh, look at him. He's scared of fire. What do you mean? Mercury Rev. The dark is rising. That's a good song, isn't it?
I noticed that you're investigating the fire mainly involved wandering out into the office, looking around a bit, then coming back.
Yeah.
What did you find out?
There was no fire.
There was no fire.
No.
Right.
But I love that. Imagine that though. Imagine there's a fire and there's loads of firemen. They go get back, and you go to the firemen. All get back. Oh, look at him.
I would. I'd actually
Yeah.
be justified to.
Okay, there's heavy shelling, lads. Retreat. Oh, Sarge. I'm sorry. Sarge.
Yeah.
There was a fire alarm. I've never seen it before. A fire thing going off. There was a fire alarm going. I thought, oh, let's at least have a look if there's a fire. That's all I thought. See, there's some official coming in now to tell us we should have been running out.
There's no fire. Well, you can't just stop entertaining, the people of London just because there's a fire.
This isn't the Titanic.
Oh, true.
I don't have to carry on playing.
I don't know. It feels like a bit of a sinking ship. Rick, here we go.
Right. Nice one. Nice one.
I don't know who I was taking off then. Probably me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Listen, let me just tell you briefly. This is another example of how people can just exploit you and make fun of you when you're tall.
Yeah.
I was quite tall. I've always been like about 6'7" for quite a while now. And when I was about 16, I went to a big New Year's celebration in Bristol, where I come from. And everyone kind of congregates in this big sort of part of town, and there's sort of people dancing around, like in Trafalgar Square. And I was there, and somehow I just picked up a balloon somewhere along the line, one of those kind of helium sort of balloons, and I was holding that, sort of dancing around. And these two girls came up to me, and I was thinking, yeah, okay, it's New Year's Eve, brilliant, that's my kind of party.
Yeah.
And they came out, and they went, hey.
Once a year.
And they said, you going to be here for long? And I went, well, maybe. And they said, it's just that we've arranged to meet back at you in about an hour. I went, what do you mean? I went, well, it's just because we can see you wherever you are. Don't worry, you can move around and stuff. We'll see you with the balloon. Just arranged to meet some friends.
I
here.
love that. A landmark.
So,
pilots use that. Oh, we're just coming in. There's where we go. When we see Steve Merchant, we'll be descending to Bristol Temple Mead.
What's really funny is New Year's Eve, Trafalgar Square, you got a huge column, but they use Steve as like the meeting point.
Steve's got a huge column.
Brilliant, Rick. Well done. Award-winning comedy from Ricky Gervais.
Happy Monday. Took you back, didn't it? Happy Monday's there. Manxine there. Carl's like really getting down. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on.
Got
Come
any
on.
Veras?
Oh, come on, Mel.
Sweet.
Did it take you back, did it?
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
29. So you were just going into out of your teens.
I'm a Virgo.
No.
What?
No. No. You don't understand. It's just. I'm
Rick,
a
I
Virgo.
thought we discussed about involving Karl.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Management have told us we're just not allowed to do it.
We've had emails from people.
Please don't speak to Karl.
It's cruel.
Exactly.
On the cusp.
Can I just make an appeal? I don't want to...
On the cusp, the Virgo, he said. Still going through with it. Doesn't know what's going on, does he? Just wave bright objects at him. Yeah. We've got a competition then, Steve.
We have, but before we mention
Go
that,
on.
can I just ask something? I don't want to exploit our position on the radio.
No.
But I wonder, because I'm very tall, and it's very tricky for me to get size 14 shoes and big clothes and stuff, could I just get people to send some stuff if like, maybe they own a shop which
Yeah, but
sells
it'd be things like homemade clogs
That's
that people
cool.
have carved out of chunks of wood they found
That's
in the
whatever.
shed.
Whatever.
It's not
When I
going
was
to
in
be great.
America, when I was in America, everyone says to me, you go to
Here
America.
is a cacool. I made out of my own skin.
When I was in America, everyone told me like it would be really easy to get big clothes and big shoes and that because they're all huge and all freaks over there.
All right, steady on.
And I was wandering around New York and I was going in a few shops, kind of saying, we've got size 14, US 15 shoes, and they were going, no, one shop
Is that
literally-
the difference?
Yeah,
One.
and they literally were laughing at me. There was a couple of shops where they literally laugh and get like someone else in and come and look at the tall, freaky Englishman.
Really?
And then one guy said, I remember we had someone come in here once, and he said he'd been to a shop which sold kind of stuff for really tall people, and he said, I think I can remember the address, and he sort of looked through the sort of telephone direction, he made a note of it, and I went on the subway, and I went down all
Lilliput.
and I went, it took me ages to get there, and really hard to find it. I finally went in there, I've never seen it was heaving, right, with freaks. It was
Really?
amazing. It was like, they were just kind of gargoyles, it was like something from Lord of the Rings. They were just kind of these tall people and kind of gnarled.
Did they turn around and
grotesque
start
things.
bowing to you?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
When I went in, I just said, hi, I'm looking for a kind of da-da-da-da sort of thing. Guy went, yeah, sure, and he sort of hobbled off into the darkness and came back with exactly the kind of pair of shoes I wanted. I couldn't believe my luck.
It might be a magic shop.
But it was like that shop in Mr. Ben.
It might have been a dream, though. You see? Have you still actually got the shoes?
No.
Because when Mr. Ben sort of like goes back and wakes up next day, he finds like a feather in his pocket where he remembers he was a 17th century sort of squire or something.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The classic episode of Mr. Ben when he becomes a 17th century squire.
oh dear.
Mr. Ben learns to play the harpsichord.
But it's like when Mr. Ben, that black shopkeeper goes, right, are you going to pay for that? You're not just going to go through that door and then have an adventure and come back. Oh, yeah, I am. No, you're not. You're barred.
Yeah.
You just make me sick. We wait nothing from you. Well, I'm not in this for your amusement, Mr. Ben.
Is it only Ben who's got the insider knowledge about the magical doorway, or
I
do you
don't
get other
know, because
customers?
that fella in the fez doesn't seem to have anyone else there.
No, rarely. He's always grinning though. He knows
Yeah.
something.
I'm not sure. It's not a documentary though, is it? It's a kid show, isn't it?
I'm trying to remember.
No, it's not. It's just a kid show, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people make that mistake
Sure.
when they slag off something like Scooby Doo or
Oh.
Thundercats. It's not really
Not
reality.
actually real.
It's just a
Well,
kid.
but Mr. Ben, they were all on drugs, weren't they? Like Magic Roundabout.
My mate fancied Cheetara from
I forget
Thundercats.
Cheetara. Which one was Cheetara? I quite like She-Woman.
She was a lovely
Yeah,
cat.
she was a real dish.
What's the sexiest cartoon?
I'm glad you've asked.
A lot of people say Jessica Rabbit.
They do, and they'd be right to say that, because she's actually human, she's not an animal, which is good.
What?
Isn't she? No, she's a normal woman married to a rabbit.
No, she's not.
Yeah, Jessica Rabbit.
Is that what she got a surname, Rabbit? But she's not actually
she's
a rabbit.
married Roger Rabbit. But she's not actually a rabbit, she's a glamorous woman.
Is she?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
No, yeah, this is the weird thing about it.
That's weird though, isn't it?
It is weird, the idea of a rabbit having sex with a beautiful woman. That is the weirdest thing about it.
How does that make you feel?
Annoyed, if I'm honest. Yeah. But I bought some bunny ears just after I saw the film.
Oh, hip hop. You got your hip hop
Oh,
track.
yeah, good. No. This album was rated by a lot of people last year. My sources tell me that it's being re-released and re-recorded this year. Anyway, Nerd are the outfit. They're better known as the Neptunes, who are kind of sort of hip-hop R&B producers.
Yeah,
I think this track may have featured on a giveaway CD.
It did.
On the NME.
It did.
Anyway, it's Dynamite. It's from the album In Search Of by Nerd, and it's Bobby James. Play it. Nerd from the album In Search Of, and that's Bobby James.
Brilliant.
It's great. Isn't
It's really big. It reminds me a little bit of Warren G. That chorus.
Sure, yeah. And apparently the album, it was on kind of limited release, so it's quite tricky to get hold of. But as I say, I think they're re-releasing it.
Well, you should tape off the radio because we're doing lots of features.
Yeah, no, I'll maybe play that again in the future. Just tape it off. I'll tell you what, I'll play the whole album over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we're just I mean, we're going to have us talking. We just go now, and you can
we
press
can't
play and
actually
record.
say we can't advocate you tape it off the radio because that's breaking.
No, or maybe I'll just do some bootlegs of the catalogue and just sell them
if you want,
Camden
if you want to
Market
get,
for £4.
Exactly, fine.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we won't. I mean, we shouldn't
Who's-
really say that, but
Warren G is Dr. Dre's cousin, is he, or something? Is
Warren
that
G,
right?
I think is his cousin. Yeah,
But I know he's got a famous brother as well, and I think it's something like Nate Dogg.
could well
is
be
it?
Nate Dogg.
We could maybe someone would know that and could
Yeah.
email or phone in.
Yeah, or email maybe a kind of.
This is the
family
best
tree.
thing about being on the radio. I can think of something. There was a competition on Virgin, right? I was listening Virgin. I think 105. No, what is it? I can't remember.
Yeah. Good station.
Good station.
Yeah.
Good station. And they had a competition, right? And it was to win a trip to America on the Enterprise. It was all about space. And there was one question I had to answer 3 right, and it was who was the first one into space? Yuri Gagarin. Who was doing that? And then the third question was how much bigger than the moon is the sun? Is it twice as big or 4 times as big? And this one went 4 times as big. Went correct. It's not. It's hundreds of times
Probably a
bigger.
lot more big,
I can't
yeah.
believe. Can someone look that up on the internet? And how many times bigger is the sun than the moon? It's not 4 times. It's huge. It's like beach ball to a pea type dimensions.
Which DJ was it? Do you remember on Virgin?
I can't remember, but it was the one on sort of about 11 o'clock.
I
Wouldn't want to be about.
now.
Yeah, he's embarrassed himself,
He's
hasn't
embarrassed
he?
himself.
When we do
Everyone's-
quizzes, we never get anything wrong.
That's true enough.
During that track, I'm chilling out. I'm loving it, aren't I? Karl goes, "Do you know how baguettes came about?"
Do you know how baguettes come about?
I went, "Go on," and Steve went, "No, save it."
Wait a minute though, I'm thinking, Rick, people are going to be desperate to know the answer to that. Why don't we play some ads and some music and stuff?
It's like a cliffhanger.
Exactly. How did baguettes come about?
Whatever he says is going to be good, isn't
Stay
it?
tuned to XFM to find out.
Hives, hate to say I told you so. So I love that sort of stuff. That and the Strokes. Well, it's so much better than this new metal rubbish, isn't it?
Definitely.
Now, most people think we talk rubbish on air.
Yep.
If they could hear the conversations
Off
that
air.
go on, I know, but someone just emailed in saying the sun is indeed about 400 times bigger than the moon. Thanks for that. That DJ must have looked it up and said 400 times. That can't be right. It's probably a printing error. 4 times.
Yeah.
Nothing can be 400 times bigger than the moon. Karl went, yeah, but the sun, it's only got 1 million years, isn't it? I went, what? He went, on that space program, it said that in 1 million years the sun will be destroyed, and he said, and then we're all shafted. Right? I laughed. Steve went, no, it's okay. By then, we'll be on another planet.
No, I think that's true. We'll have colonised other
Right?
planets.
Karl went, yeah, but there'll be no sun. Steve went, well, there's other suns, which is true. Karl went, well, I went, well, yeah, every star is a sun. Karl went, well, not really. Not really. Don't believe that, do you? And I went, no, it is. The sun is just a star. It's not even a particularly big star. Karl went, well, why didn't they say that instead of worrying me? Instead of worrying me.
In 1 million years' time.
Yeah.
I love that Karl, he's been preserved, brought back to life, and is now the ruler of the world.
Just a head in
Yeah.
a fish tank. And he speaks like this. I am Pilkington.
The reason you became king of the universe, of course, is because of your fascinating French bread anecdote.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
Come
was
on
the
then.
story?
What? How did baguettes come about? If this is going to be someone cooked a loaf a bit wrong and said, "I can still make a sandwich out of it," I'm going to hit you.
that it?
No.
Go on then.
Right. Napoleon, when he was at war and that with Russia,
1812. Yeah.
yeah, all his soldiers were like, not used to the cold weather and that. So they said, take some clothes in your bag with you because it's going to be
Chilly.
nippy
Yeah.
out there. So they put all the clothes in the bag.
Sure.
Do what they were told.
Thought,
It's Napoleon, for Christ's sake.
No room for any food.
No,
You're joking.
So
Couldn't they make some sort of like sandwich?
no, it wouldn't fit because of all the clothes. You had to take extra gear.
Sure.
for them. So anyway, he said,
I can see where
know.
this is going. I'll be honest.
Is there a baguette-shaped gap left in their holdall?
They thought, let's make some bread that you can fit down your trouser leg.
What?
That's not true. No, it's not.
I read it in Euston train station. I was waiting to go back to Manchester.
Where did you read
What,
these? It was-
scrawled on the wall in graffiti?
Yeah.
Do you know the
Was it
upper-
also meet me here for cock fun at 12 o'clock?
The upper crust sandwich shop, Euston station. It's on the wall.
What do you mean it's on the wall?
Do you know how it says like sail on at Dixon's, whatever?
Yeah.
Next to that, there was like a bit of information. Once you've read the stuff on
Baguette
Dixon's,
information.
there was a big thing about history of the baguette. I read it and I thought,
Wait a minute, so
No, we got to make a sandwich we can fit down our trouser leg.
But how can you march and fight with a huge piece of bread down your train?
Although it would be intimidating. You see them coming, you go, sacre bleu, look at the size of them. They're big fellas. Well,
Blimey. I can't help but feel that could be a practical joke at your expense.
yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Well, the Earl of
Do you ever
Sandwich...
question anything you read? If it's
No.
printed up, is that,
Yeah.
like, fact for you then?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, if they were trying to be funny, it's like, it's not, is it? So it's information.
Have you heard us? Things
Th-
sometimes
th-
want to be
that's,
funny when
that's,
they're
that's
not.
exactly what happened with the sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich wanted something he could fit down his pants. And it was those triangle cut sandwiches wrapped in cling film were perfect. You might be right. You might be right.
I am.
Because the Cornish Pasty, so they could drop it down the mines, isn't it?
Is it?
They wrapped it up they wrapped up like meat and vegetables in pastry, and they sort of crimped it, and it was like a little, and they dropped it down the mine. So, yeah, that's how that came about.
And bagels were originally made so that people could play hoopla, but then eat afterwards. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is true, Carl.
Well, anyway.
Call my bluff. Is one of them true?
Yeah.
They're all true.
They're all true.
Really?
Tell your kids that when you have them.
Yeah.
You know, if they're still alive in a million years.
Well, it might be true. Can someone confirm that baguette fact that it was so Napoleon could stick it down
Not him.
his trousers? Not him, his
men.
soldiers.
His men.
Yeah.
Fascinating information. Fascinating bread information, Carl.
Radiohead.
Yeah, now this is my song for the lovers. It's a beautiful track. It's Let Down off OK Computer. It's one of my favourite Radiohead tracks. It's lovely. Right, set the tape going now if you want to tape these songs. Avalanches, Frontier Psychiatrist.
Absolutely.
Well, we've had lots of emails. People, obviously, we inflamed and provoked
Well,
about
actually, I have to say,
the
Rick-
Cornish Pasty. I've got a couple of amendments to that. The crusty bit, you know, is actually as a handle, because obviously the miners had dirty hands, and they'd eat all the stuff in the pasty, and they'd be left with this sort of crust, and they could throw that away. Also, someone told us that at one end was like apple, so you have a little sweet as well.
No dessert.
So there you go.
You noticed how, like, over the years we've been doing this, you know, way back when we started XFM, no one ever contributes when we ask about the music, when
No.
we ask about hip-hop,
No.
or their, you know, opinions on that,
No.
anything important.
No.
But start talking about pasties,
Yeah.
we've had about 5 phone calls.
Yeah, and someone phoned up to confirm. They used to work for Upper Crust, and basically Karl got all excited. So it is true. She went, well, I don't know if it's true. I've read the same sign you
Yeah.
did, Karl.
Interestingly, there's an email here that says, which basically offers a history of the baguette, and talks about after the revolution, the government decreed that all of France must eat the same bread, and it was up to the bakers to bake this bread of equality. And then Napoleon kind of made sure it was a particular. He kind of set in.
Yeah, obviously on the bread you can eat anything you find in the garden: frogs, snails, bits of horse,
But
squid.
the interesting thing is, Rick, that there's no mention of sticking it down your trousers whilst going to war.
The French have tried to keep that secret for over 100
It
years,
was only
Steve.
the upper crust people. that
Yeah,
managed to,
yeah, nearly
get
200 years, that is a top secret. Somehow Euston Station Upper Crust got hold of a document, left behind in an old sea chest, possibly Napoleon's, could have been Josephine's. Unfortunately, jotted it down. He's kicking himself now. Oh, Secretary, I cannot believe I left a note. If he talked like that.
He did.
He did that, yeah, he talked English, but in a very funny French accent.
Do you remember, there was one thing that, talking about funny French accents, you remember Allo Allo?
Yeah.
Remember, it was on about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but they still meant, because it was a funny Frenchman, it was that English guy who was posing as a French police officer.
It's very complicated
He would
plot.
often walk by, and I remember there was one where he said, I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Oh yeah.
Now, that's-
passing
I'm allowed
by
to
the
say that.
door.
I'm allowed to say
Passing
that.
by the door when I heard a shot.
That's what he's saying. I'm
Yeah.
allowed to say that at 2 o'clock because I'm just saying, I'm talking in a French accent.
Yeah.
I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Yeah.
That's fine,
Yeah.
because I'm speaking French, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the rule.
Do you know why people tink the glasses before they have a drink?
Why they tink? The verb to tink.
I do know that, Carl. Is it about poison?
It is.
Here we are.
What would it make a different noise?
Oh,
Brilliant. Go on, explain
Why?
it.
you
Carl.
explain it, Steve.
No, don't Steve. You explain it, Karl. Come on.
Oh,
I've
you-
started, so I'll finish. Come on, Karl. Explain why they tink the glasses.
Ages ago,
Yeah.
only people with money had drinking or something.
That's like one of my film reviews. Years ago. Welcome to History Now. Now, ages ago, only people with money had drinking or something.
Keep going, Carl.
Keep going.
Like spirit and stuff. So they'd it's like businessmen with money.
It's easy for you to say. This is getting to be cruel, isn't it?
This is amazing.
Yeah, go on.
Why
Go
did
on.
you open your mouth, Carl? What were you hoping was the best that could happen?
Because you were trying to make me look stupid before with the planet, so
Whereas you know...
Yeah, go on, no, come on. Businessmen with money have got to drink and ching. Okay, so then, with all the drinks...
So they'd nip round to have a chat about the whatever they're earning money with, and they'd say, "Right, do you want a drink then?" And they'd go, "Oh yeah, that'd be all right." So
Yeah.
rather than like just pouring it out of a bottle into a glass and saying, "There you go," it could be going, "Hang on a minute, could be poisoning me ear and try to like nick my business idea.
Yeah.
So what they do, it sort of pour a bit of his drink into the other person's glass, and you get that tink noise, and that's like cheers, you know.
No, Karl, I've just a slight amendment there. I think what it was you're absolutely right that they would then test each other's drinks to show that it wasn't poison. But over the years, that was reduced to just chinking the glasses by way of saying, let's not actually bother going through the whole rigmarole. They just did the chinking of the glasses.
Yeah,
as
well,
kind of symbolic way of saying it.
yeah, that's good.
It was exhausting though, wasn't it?
I know.
Was it worth it, do you think?
Well, I like that, because people carry that with them now. When they do that, they'll think, oh, that bloke's definitely not trying to poison me.
Yeah.
So the horrible thing is that now, when I do the glasses, I can laugh and go, they don't know I've poisoned them.
Exactly.
You should always do the pouring back and forth. It's a shortcut, it's a slippery slope. You know, just be careful. Ash, there's a star. One of my bands of 2001, Ash.
Was it?
Yeah, they've come through. I didn't like them at first. Thought, a bit too lo-fi. But I think they've worked at it. They do good songs. They're good performers, and I think they're probably thoroughly nice chaps.
Sure.
All right. We didn't say hello because we were away for a couple of weeks. We didn't come back and go, oh, we're back, did we? It's like nothing ever happened.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, you.
Yep. Karl?
Yeah, it's alright.
Lovely. Okay, let's crack on.
Good. I went on holiday after Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
So did our mutual friend, Phil Belker.
Yeah, good man.
He was in Lanzarote, and he told me one of the funny... I don't know if I can tell this on the radio. I'll have to say the C word. I'll just go... It's in a sentence, so I just go, you, see, when it comes, and you'll know that he's saying the terrible word. Just, didn't want to ruin the anecdote. Anyway, they're walking along one evening in Lanzarote, and there's lots of Brits there, apparently, and Phil overhears a sort of married couple arguing. They're having to go home a bit early, and she's saying to him, she went, for Christ's sake, every time we come out drinking, you always shit yourself. Right?
Wow.
Always, not once. So he's going, I've told you, he said, it's not the drink, it's the weather. She went, the weather. You'll be blaming the food next, you see. I don't think they should have got married.
Wow.
Or when did you think the shitting themselves started? Must have been after the marriage, because if you're courting, and they go, went out with Derek again, did you last night? Yeah, how was it? The evening was lovely, the meal was nice, but he shut himself. Again. That's 5 dates, 5 different heaps of shit.
But I think I can change him.
I think I can change him, yeah. It must have happened after the marrying. Or he just might have think, oh God, or he's got to that age where he think, look, I'll just empty it when I get home.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep going up and going to the toilet, you know.
It's the ice that does it.
Karl is right, I think. It is the ice.
What do you mean?
People forget, they say, oh, don't drink the water when you're on holiday, and they don't. They drink, they buy Evian and stuff.
Oh, I see.
They forget about the ice.
The ice cubes, you're right, in a bar. Made from tap water.
And that can do it, can it?
Yeah.
But what she said every time you're drinking, didn't she?
I assume that she wasn't drinking ice then.
Yeah.
I mean, why is it just happened to him?
Let's be honest, everyone that goes on holiday doesn't end up crapping themselves.
Yeah, they usually make it to a toilet.
He does it every time he drinks, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, apparently.
Just don't let him carry the baguettes.
He's good, isn't he?
Oh, Karl comes out with
He does now and again,
High
doesn't
five,
he?
Karl. That was sweet, man.
Nice one.
Yeah, respect you.
Right, we've got another feature now.
Yes, this is a feature which we introduced before Christmas, and it was so popular, we brought it into 2002 as well. And it's
We've
called...
carried it over with us. It's an interesting thing, and I don't think we'll ever run out of features for
I
it.
don't think so.
Go on, then what's the feature called, Steve?
It's rather brilliantly called A Song That I Like.
Yeah.
And in it, let me explain.
Go on,
quite complicated.
go on.
What I do is, in it, I play a song.
What, that you like, or?
That I like.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
so you just pick let me go, I'm going to explain this. All the songs, right, there are, Karl, Steve likes some of them, he doesn't like others.
Exactly.
But for this particular feature, the only songs that'll be in this section will be the ones that he likes.
If you think you're going to hear songs that I don't like, you're wrong, Karl. Let me clear that up straight away. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's songs that I like.
What song have you chosen to play?
Thank you very much for asking. I have chosen, and it's something I've only been introduced to recently, but I did enjoy it, and it seemed, just felt contemporary. It's Patti Smith and the classic Gloria.
Oh, fantastic.
Play it, Karl. Gloria by Patti Smith. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I love it.
It's lovely to hear that again.
I've always been one of my favourite tracks.
And as Karl pointed out, sounds remarkably like, who did you mention?
PJ Harvey. Oh yeah, well, yeah, everyone knew that. She was obviously very influenced by her.
That's fine. That's
alright, that's allowed.
That's cool.
I like PJ Harvey too.
Exactly.
There's enough room for two.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, here we are then.
Let's just take a moment to think about what we've done, you know.
Yeah, well, it's been good. We've
enjoyed
it's
ourselves
an
so
hour
far.
and 20 minutes. We've talked about shitting yourself.
We talked about pasties.
We've done pasties.
A number of pastries, actually.
We never got the. We should learn a competition. Who's the tastiest cartoon ever?
Well, actually,
I threw
someone
up
did
She
contribute.
Terror. I threw up Jessica Rabbit.
I've had some people contribute here on
Go
the
on.
email. We've got someone here, Dom, has emailed us. He's told us that for him, Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
Always
popular choice.
And obviously, this is one I've never quite understood. Wilma from the Flintstones. I've actually always felt that Wilma. I don't know. I just thought she was a bit.
No, not
a bit
Wilma.
homely.
Betty, surely.
Yeah, Betty.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Wilma. I mean, yeah, Betty, surely, but Wilma. No, I mean
it's
she's
just
quite
like-
homely. But Betty, yeah.
Come on, Steve. You wouldn't say no to Wilma.
No, I suppose not.
If it was
I'd be worried about Fred if he found out.
I would. Well, I'd hate to do it. You
I
know.
don't want to do it to Fred. He's a good guy.
He is, isn't
Yeah,
he? He's a
worked
bit of a
hard.
jump.
Worked hard.
Whereas Barney, to be honest, I don't think he deserves Betty.
Do they both work in the quarry? Because, I mean, let's be honest, Fred, not a smart man. I mean, he obviously didn't come out of rock school with anything other than a couple of basic O levels.
I know, but he's a hard-working, sound sort of
But
guy.
they got a big house. They got like a TV. They got that bird thing.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
got-
I be honest, if I was Fred, I would be a little bit disappointed that my kid does nothing, whereas Barney's can lift up sort of tall buildings. Bam, bam. He's a very strong, you know.
I mean, interestingly, Fred loves his job. He's always yabba dabba doing at the end of the day.
He does
And he spent
yabba
the whole
dabba.
day lifting rocks from one place to
I'll
another.
tell you what, I wouldn't take that from that cat, though.
I would.
If a cat picked me up by the scruff neck and put me out,
Yeah.
right, on the doorstep,
Damn
I'd
right.
go mental. I'd get rid of it.
I'd get
It is
rid
a
of
saber-toothed tiger, though, Karl, so it could rip him to shreds. It's not like a normal domestic cat you have nowadays.
You know when they go to the drive-in at the beginning?
Yeah.
And they order maybe some ribs.
Yeah, that
The woman
huge-
brings that huge rib, and it tips the car over.
Yeah.
Was that her first day on the job? Because
it's
either
got-
it's never been ordered before.
Yeah,
or
either it's that, or
she'd have realised.
yeah, we're out of pig. We've got brontosaurus rib. And he
Exactly.
goes, won't that knock the car over?
No, it won't.
I don't know.
Rick, can I tell you now? That was an accident waiting to happen.
It was really, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it did.
Oh dear. Mind you, I went to Texas once, and I had some ribs, and it was like the Flintstones. It was huge, and not only did it look too much like an animal that I couldn't actually eat it. I don't know who could eat it. I mean, seriously, it was 2 foot long,
Yeah.
and all the it was like half a rib cage, and I
It is
just.
incredible. My friends lived in Texas for a while, and they once were in a kind of diner, and there was you know those kind of benches that are attached to the table
Yeah.
itself, like a kind of picnic bench.
Yeah.
And this huge fat guy came in. He came wobbling. He ordered like this kind of everything you can eat meal, and his fat kind of sort of it kind of
It's big
wrapped
fatty
itself-
fatness fatted on the fat table.
It,
Yeah.
it wrapped itself around the table and everything.
Oh,
He was
God.
chowing down, and when he tried to leave, the table came up with him.
Oh no!
Imagine that.
I mean, they are fat, aren't they?
They're big people.
They're huge people. But it was that thing we talked about before, that bloke on Jerry Springer Show who was like 80 stone, right? Now, I felt quite sorry for him. He was really sad and he was crying. It is rad, but my point is this, right? When he got to say 50 stones,
Sure.
didn't he go, that's too much,
That's gotta be
isn't it,
enough.
for a land animal?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's big, isn't it? I mean, I'm getting worried. I'm 13 stone, and I'm genuinely getting worried. I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah,
God.
when you've got that big, when you've actually got your own mare.
Yeah. When you
Yeah,
have
it's time.
when you have to get in helpers to look what the scale says.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 people lift up your belly and go, it's 52 stone. You go, that's too much.
Exactly.
That's too. I'm going to only have 9 breakfasts
When you actually,
today.
when you begin to appear on the Ordnance Survey map,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. When
You've got your own symbol.
It's like we can see 2 things from space now: Fatty and Steve Merchant. We'll be landing
All right,
at about.
well done.
Well, no, I'm just
Having
saying
a
at
go
all. You're
there.
not fat, aren't you? You're freakish and big.
just another
Go
quick
on.
thought. Someone's mentioned Daphne from Scooby-Doo, but I've always had a soft spot for Velma.
Velma.
Because Velma was in the glasses. I mean, I'd have
She's
had
clever.
Can I tell you what would have happened if I was in that environment? I was maybe on the Mystery
Your
Museum.
glasses would have got tangled
No,
up.
I'd have always had I'd always been making a play for Daphne, right? And Velma would have fancied me, but I
Yeah.
kind of always ignored it because I was playing for Daphne. And then when I finally realised it was never going to happen with Daphne, I'd have blown it with Velma. That's
Maybe
the
not
story of my
though.
life.
Maybe not. Sometimes those, they might, appreciate honesty. Go, listen, I've been hitting on the good-looking one. Oi, Four Eyes.
Yeah,
Do you fancy it, Chubbs?
exactly.
Something like that.
Let's be honest, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah.
I'm wondering. I don't mean to be libelous, but Velma, She was quite short, the glasses, the short hair.
Lesbian?
Hung around with the dog and
Lesbian?
the bloke. I'm beginning to wonder if she
Yeah.
was... Yeah, maybe.
I was like, see, unfortunately, I said lesbian there, and you still carried on with your assessment of what it is to be a lesbian. It's bad enough doing the cliches of having short hair, but you said the dog.
Yeah, well, she hangs around with a dog.
Do lesbians do that?
Well, have you seen some lesbians? They're right dogs. Good night. Have you seen what I've done there? You know what I've done there, Rick? Comedy award winning.
Professional. I was having a cup of tea. 100 Reasons there on XFM 104.9, just gone half 2.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, with Steve Merchant.
Hi.
Alright?
Rick, we've got a couple of emails in here, and they're saying they enjoyed your performance over the Christmas period on a programme called 100 Greatest TV Moments.
Yeah.
Did you do an interview or something? What was the deal? I didn't see this.
Yeah, the Office was in there, wasn't it? And I was
Right.
interviewed for it.
But what are they talking about? They enjoyed your performance. Come on, tell me
You
what
know,
it is.
do you?
No, I
That's
don't.
what, it's the thing that I did on Razzmatazz.
Oh, is this where they found a clip or something?
Yeah. No, alright, I was in a band, and we had one single out or something, and I did one TV appearance when I was about, oh god, and they showed a bit of it, about 7 seconds, me on Razzmatazz. Oh god.
Razzmatazz, for
With-
those that don't remember,
with-
was like a kind of, I suppose, what was it? Like a kind
Kids.
of CD UK of its time.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And, oh god. And it was of the time, sort of new romantic.
And they showed a clip of this.
I looked about 10 and about 5 stone with hair and makeup and girly clothes. My sister actually said I looked like Posh Spice.
Brilliant.
Which is, there's a funny story about that, right? Because we were rushed and we had to do this thing, and and we were meant to take a flight to Newcastle. And
Where were you travelling from? London?
Yeah, but we got there, and we didn't have tickets, we were told to be there, but the A&R man overslept. Right, for the record company, overslept, and it was terrible, and we were fretting, and eventually it was too late to get the plane, we missed the plane, we had to get a train, and it was really kind of fine. They were back and forth, going, yeah, if they come now, we can still do it, we're going to miss it, and this was like a big promotional thing. And we got there, and they went, oh, God, right? And I had this sort of like jumpsuit I was wearing that I'd cut off, put that on backwards.
A jumpsuit?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I know,
Is this what was
bad.
on the clip?
Yeah, I had that on back to front, and there was no time, and I think I even mimed wrong at one point, and it was awful. But the funny story is this, that when we were there, we didn't have our tickets.
This was at the airport.
We bumped into Bucks Fizz. the guys and girls from Bucks Fizz and their manager, so there's like 5 of them, right? And there's 2 of us, and they had 5 tickets. And Bucks Fizz tried to smuggle us through. And so they went through the things, right? And they went, tickets please. And he just waved 5 tickets that he had, like that, goes, this is us, right? And they went, well, can I have a look at them? And they went, there's only 5 here. And they just looked at us and went, sorry lads, we tried. We were nearly smuggled through.
By Bobby. Karl.
They couldn't even with their powers, they were at the height of their powers.
That was like
They'd already
make-believe time.
They'd already done making your mind up. I thought if anyone can get us through customs check, it was the Fizz. But even the Fizz
What I like
could
though,
not get
that
us through.
reassures me, I have to say, about kind of airplane travel. You
Yeah.
know, in these kind of troubled times, it's
Yeah.
nice to know that
What's
even
that?
someone like Bucks Fizz
Yeah.
couldn't smuggle someone through.
That's good, because even the top security man went, hold on, there's 5 in the Fizz, there's 5 tickets, those 2 lads are not going through.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes you more secure about
Definitely.
air travel now.
Well, it's lovely if I'm in America, and I see 5-star.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to get through customs.
With 2 other lads.
Exactly. I think, wait a minute, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, security guy stopped him. It's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
We know there's only 5 in 5-star.
Oh.
It's lovely. It's lovely to know that.
Yeah.
I love the fact. And did you know the Fizz previous? Was this
course
your first
not.
run-in with the Fizz?
No, they were doing the Taz, same as us. They were doing the old Raz, same
And
as us.
did you recognise the Fizz and go, oh my god, that's the Fizz, let's try and sneak in with them, or did they recognise you? How did it work?
They wouldn't have recognised us.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I love the audacity of going up to Bucks Fizz and saying, try and smuggle us in. You try and break aviation law for us.
Now, yeah. Now it's time to make your mind up. We're going to the land of make-believe. I did that and they laughed. They went,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
We'll get you through, lads.
Yeah.
Just stay tight. I was actually on top of Bobby's shoulders in a long coat.
Lovely.
Yeah, but Bill...
Well, seriously though, I don't understand what their plan was to sneak in.
Like they would have gone, yep, through.
It's the Fizz, let them through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't bother checking the
It's like,
tickets.
not worth even answering, we couldn't even get to Newcastle.
Do you
Getting
think
a
it was
plane to
wearing your
Newcastle.
jumpsuit backwards that sort of gave it away?
Well, no, but see, I didn't have it on then. I was just in civvies. I just had jeans and a t-shirt then. I didn't even have my hair gelled. I was just like cash.
I
then.
saw it. I thought it looked all right.
Did you?
Did you? Well,
I mean, for
Then
in
you.
a tight jumpsuit.
nice
Yeah.
cheekbones.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I had some cheekbones. Yeah, that was the. That was.
If
the
anyone
difference.
else saw it, or maybe they
No,
taped it
let's-
and they've
let's
got a
leave
clip,
it now.
because I'd love to see it. I missed it.
Well, I'll get you one.
It's like
If you
Duran
have
Duran.
it, put it. I'll tell you what. Why not create a website, and put that clip on there on a constant loop, and then send the address in, and I'll give it out, and people can check it out for themselves.
Yeah,
Rick.
brilliant.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll have to lose weight now.
Yeah.
That film.
Oh, now we come to the feature. We're carrying this over 2002 because it was such a great success.
Everyone's talking about it.
Do you remember I stopped my film reviews because I'm only doing films I like, and I've done all the films I like. That's where other film reviewers fail.
Sure.
Because they review substandard films.
Exactly.
My average is still 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And no one's beaten that. Not Barry Norman, not Jonathan Ross. No one's got an average of 9.5 out of 10 for the
true.
films they reviewed. So I'm keeping it there. I don't want to drop my standards. However, that film sounds good. This is where I pick a classic track from a film that I might not have seen, right? But I like the song. I might go and see the film. This is Almost Famous.
The film was almost famous.
I
Not a
haven't
great
seen
film.
it. I haven't seen it, right? But a song. Now, don't panic. Listen without prejudice. This is Elton John, but it's when he was good, okay? When he was a bright, funky, young Brit glam star. Wonderful song, wonderful tune, wonderful lyrics. It's Tiny Dancer. Love Burns, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club there, Steve. What's about it?
That's it, isn't it?
We've had some laughs, haven't we?
We've learned as well. We've been educated as ever.
Yeah, pasties, all that.
We've got baguette information.
We've had features such as That Film Sounds Good.
Exactly.
Song
A
for
song
the
that
lovers.
I like.
Song for the Lovers. Song for the Ladies.
Song for the Ladies coming up very shortly. Rick, I was lucky enough this week to go to a exclusive press preview of Britney Spears' forthcoming movie, Crisscross, or
Yeah.
Crossroads. Crossroads, I think it's called.
Yeah,
It's not related to the popular TV show.
right.
Rick, I'm assuming you'd love me to do a little review of it now. I can't, because it's
No, I wouldn't.
embargoed until March. I can only talk about it in March.
No, I
otherwise
wouldn't,
the
no.
press people will go crazy.
No, I don't. I wouldn't want you to. no.
Well, no, I imagine you want to know all about Crossroads.
Not
Britney
really.
Spears. I cannot tell you anything.
Well, don't then. I mean, just.
Well, you can ask me questions, you can pump me for information, I cannot tell you anything about it until March.
I would pump you for no reason ever.
No, but Rick,
Certainly not for information.
Carl, doesn't matter what you ask me about Britney Spears' Crossroads, I cannot tell you anything about it.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
But seriously, if you want to know the plot or what I think of it, I cannot discuss it. Okay? And if the listeners want to email in questions, they can, I cannot reply until March. So hang on for that. I've seen the film already. I've already seen the film myself in advance of everyone else. I
Yeah.
can't tell anyone about it
Right.
until March. That's the kind of
I'll
exclusive.
tell you what though.
Go on.
Maybe I'll review it in March.
No, you can't,
Why?
because you haven't seen it, and I have.
Yeah.
But if you want to ask me a question now about it.
Well, that's you in March.
Yeah,
Not
but if
really
you wanted
bothered.
to know now, you couldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Right. Song for the Lovers.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Anyway,
Sorry.
song for the ladies this week. I was lucky enough to get given as a Christmas gift the Rolling Stones complete singles collection.
Good
And
present. Good
well,
present.
it's an absolute joy. And I'd forgotten how brilliant Wild Horses
Oh, great
is
track.
from the Stones. So I thought I'd play that this week for the ladies. Let's leave them with that.
Jagger and Richards at their best.
Beautiful.
Watts is in on it. if I know Wattsy. I mean,
cannot-
Wyman was still there those days.
See you next time.
Bye.